What's up, space pirates? This is your admiral, the dread pirate Dr. Disaster, and as a schadenfreude enthusiast, particularly when it comes to things that happen in the gaming industry, I really appreciate it when karma comes around and introduces itself to someone who damn well seems to deserve it.
Welcome to the party, pal!
You guys might remember that last year, when Stellar Blade was released, a bunch of game journalists made a big deal out of this image here, acting like Shift Up was being racist with a reference to hard R. That's why when all of these game journalists now act as though they've always loved Stellar Blade, and they act as if they think Eve is just the best character ever, and Shift Up is just the best studio ever, you know that they're full of shit. But I digress. They tried to get this game canceled with a targeted campaign that they all pounced on the moment that review embargoes lifted, because ultimately what they don't like is attractive females in games.
I think women and semen don't mix.
We knew what you think.
Anyhow, I'm sure you guys remember that whole kerfuffle since the story basically dominated gaming for the better part of a month. Anyhow, the dude who allegedly leaked the screenshot to the gaming press, kicking off the controversy, he just got some comeuppance. Sony just served him up a piping hot bowl of sweet, sweet revenge. And frankly, I don't feel a damn bit bad for him.
Oh, but baby.
It turns out that this same guy who allegedly initially made a big deal out of the hard R nonsense is also the guy who independently put together the Bloodborne patch, which hooked the game up with 60 frames per second, and Sony just smacked the dude with a DMCA, a Digital Millennium Copyright Act, which forces the dude to take down 4 years of work. I'm not necessarily going to cheer this on, but I'm not going to defend this guy either.
I won't kill you, but I don't have to save you.
It sounds like the dude might have gotten what's coming to him, and I just find the karma funny. It really seems that Sony just caught him with his pants down.
Excuse me. Your balls are showing.
Alright, me hearties, make sure you hit the like button on this video to fight off the evil algorithm monster, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And also, don't forget to follow me on X, where my handle is Dr. Disaster 1. But anyhow, I have a hard time believing that Sony's move to take down the 60 frames per second patch is anything other than petty revenge. And don't get me wrong, that's not necessarily a criticism. I'm a firm believer in getting even with people who mess with you. Putting people in their place is what makes the world go around. But, on the other hand, admittedly this does suck for any gamers out there who wanted to play Bloodborne with that patch. People are rightly pissed. This creates bad blood between gamers and Sony. And I'm not going to defend Sony here, but I'm also not going to defend this D-bag who got his comeuppance. It's unfortunate, but frankly, Sony's mentality seems to be that you've got to break a few eggs to make an omelet. The reason I'm pretty sure this was meant as a bit of revenge is because at first, the world was kinda shocked by this news that Sony was out of nowhere taking this patch down. There's no good reason to do it on the face of it otherwise, especially considering how much it annoyed some gamers. As an example of the shock and confusion the gaming community was feeling, here's a post on X from Pirate Nation, who voiced all of our initial annoyance. He asked, "What is Snoy doing?" using the derogatory term for Sony. And then he shared an image of an article discussing the takedown. It says, Sony Interactive Entertainment has sent a DMCA to the modder who created a patch to run the game at 60 frames per second. Talking to X, Lance McDonald, the modder who created the patch, said, on February 21st, 2021, I created and released a patch for Bloodborne, which makes the game run at 60 frames per second. Today I received a DMCA takedown notification on behalf of Sony asking that I remove links to the patch I posted on the internet, so I've now done so. With that in mind, here's a post from Grums on X explaining that this person who made the Bloodborne patch is also the streamer who supposedly leaked the hard R screenshot from Stellar Blade to the game journos. He says, "Turns out this guy, the creator of the Bloodborne patch, is also the one that started the whole censorship campaign against Stellar Blade, allegedly by leaking the screenshot to Gaming Press. He denies it. He is a woke, libtard dev, and now I could care less that they wrecked 4 years of his work." The bad blood between these two stems from their interactions last year during that whole Stellar Blade controversy, when Grums called this guy out for allegedly being the hard R leaker. At one point, it looked like they had patched things up and come to an understanding, but as you can see from this old X post from going on a year ago, Grums said that he and this guy came to an understanding on X, but then the dude immediately backstabbed him, sliding into Discord to talk shit about Grums there. Basically, the dude sounds like a weasel. And now, here's the thing. I am against censorship in general, which is what this takedown of the Bloodborne patch amounts to. In a vacuum, it wasn't hurting Sony, so I'm not for that kind of censorship. But on the other hand, the guy who created the patch seems to be pretty pro-censorship himself. That is, if the allegations that he leaked the Stellar Blade screenshot are to be believed, then it seems as though he is very pro-censorship as long as it's something that he doesn't like. And I've reached a point where I'm all about free speech for people. I want folks to be able to express themselves without fear of cancellation, as long as they aren't trying to cancel people themselves. Once this dude decided to go after Stellar Blade, if that's what he did, then he lost the privilege of me sticking up for him. I will not defend the free speech rights of someone who goes after someone else's free speech rights. As an example of what I'm talking about, I don't like Dragon Age the Veilguard. I think it was a very, very piss-poor game. I don't like their messaging in it, but I would never advocate for the game to be taken down. I think that BioWare has every right to make that game. I think they have every right to talk about the trans stuff in the game. I'm just gonna mock it because I think it's asinine. Do you see the difference? Anyhow, it's possible that there were other reasons that Sony took down this patch, this Bloodborne patch. I doubt it, but even if it's true, it doesn't matter. The intent does not matter. At the end of the day, this dude just got smashed right in the face with the frying pan of karma, and I will absolutely not defend him. Hopefully, someone else puts together a new patch that does the same thing, and then hopefully Sony leaves it up. But I'm gonna leave it there. Drop your sympathy. The world's smallest violin is playing for this poor little dingleberry who didn't do nothing. Drop your sympathy for the dude into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.